Dr. Kim Hana stared at the bright screen in front of her. The numbers kept changing, showing something big moving in the dark space far away. She had been working on the research ship called Unity's Dawn for 3 years now. This ship was special because it had both humans and aliens working together for the first time. The ship was quiet except for the soft sounds of machines working. Hana's helper, Lee Minho, sat next to her looking at different screens. His eyes were wide as he watched. The strange readings. "Dr. Kim, look at this," Minho said in a whisper. "Something very big is out there." Hana looked at his screen. The computer showed an object that was huge, much bigger than their ship. It was just floating in space, not moving at all. It looked very old, like it had been there for a long, long time. Captain Park Ji-won walked into their workroom. She was a strong woman who had led many space missions before. "What did you find?" she asked. "We found something strange, Captain," Hana said. "It's very big and very old. We don't know what it is." The captain looked at the screens. "Can we get closer to see it better?" "Yes, but we should be careful," Hana said. "We don't know if it's safe." Captain Park thought for a moment. "Let's move closer but slowly. Turn on all our scanning machines." The Unity's Dawn started moving toward the mysterious object. As they got closer, they could see it better. It looked like a mix of machine and living thing. It had a dark surface with strange patterns on it. Some parts looked like metal, but other parts seemed to move like they were alive. Lieutenant Choi Soo-jin was working on the bridge of the ship. She controlled the scanning machines that would tell them more about the object. Starting the deep. "Scan now," she said into her microphone. The scanning beams shot out from their ship and touched the strange object. For a few seconds, nothing happened. Then suddenly the object began to glow with bright blue light. "Captain," Soo-jin called out. "It's waking up." Everyone on the ship felt scared as they watched the object change. Long, thick arms started coming out of it. The arms were as long as whole buildings and covered with lights that blinked on and off. The object wasn't just a thing, it was alive. "All crew members, get ready for emergency," Captain Park announced to the whole ship. "We don't know what this thing will do." The creature, because that's what it really was, started moving. It turned toward the nearest space station where people lived and worked. The space station was called Harmony Base, and it had about 5,000 people on it. Communications officer Jung Yuna was listening to radio messages from all over the area. Suddenly her screen filled with emergency calls. "Captain, Harmony Base is calling for help," she said with fear in her voice. On the main screen, everyone watched as the giant creature moved toward Harmony Base. It moved slowly but with purpose, like it knew exactly what it wanted to do. When it reached the space station, something terrible happened. The creature wrapped its long arms around the space station. Then bright lights appeared all over its body. The space station started to break apart piece by piece. The people inside were trying to escape in small ships, but many didn't make it out in time. "We have to help them," shouted Engineer Kang, Jisoo. But before their ship could do anything, Harmony Base was completely gone. The creature had somehow absorbed everything, the metal, the machines, even the air inside. After eating the space station, the creature looked bigger and brighter than before. "It's getting stronger," Hana said quietly. The creature didn't stop there. It moved to another space station called New Hope Colony. The same thing happened. The creature wrapped around it and absorbed everything. Then it went to a third station. Jung Yuna was getting emergency messages from everywhere. "3 stations are gone," she reported. "Thousands of people are dead." Captain Park felt sick watching this happen. "Can we fight it?" she asked. "Our weapons are too small," said Commander Yang Tae-hyun, who was in charge of the ship's weapons. "That thing is bigger than a city." Dr. Kim Hana was watching the creature carefully. She noticed something that others missed. "Captain, look at which stations it's attacking," she said. "What do you mean?" Captain Park asked. Harmony Base was doing weapons research. New Hope Colony was making military equipment. Star Point Station was testing new bombs. Hana explained. "It's not attacking the regular colonies where families live." But nobody wanted to listen to her idea. Everyone was too scared. News of the creature was spreading to all the planets and space stations in the area. People started calling it the Destroyer, because it destroyed everything it touched. As Unity's Dawn watched from a safe distance, the Destroyer continued its path through space. It seemed to know exactly where it wanted to go. And somewhere, deep in space, more emergency calls were coming in as the creature found its next target. The galaxy had never seen anything like this before. This was just the beginning of something that would change everything they thought they knew about space, about monsters, and about what it really meant to protect life in the universe. The big meeting room on Space Station Alpha was full of scared creatures from all over the galaxy. Dr. Kim Hana had never seen so many different types of aliens in one place before. Some looked like giant crystals that made musical sounds when they talked. Others were like clouds of gas that changed colors to show their feelings. There were also aliens that looked like trees, and some that were covered in fur like big cats. All of them were afraid of the Destroyer. Hana stood up to speak to everyone. Her hands were shaking a little, but she had important things to tell them. "I have been studying the Destroyer for 2 weeks now," she said. "I think we are wrong about what it really wants." A big crystal alien made a loud ringing sound. "Wrong? It killed thousands of our people." "Yes, it did," Hana said sadly. "But look at where it attacked." She turned on a big screen that showed a map of space. Red dots marked where the Destroyer had been. Harmony Base was making new weapons. New Hope Colony was building warships. Starpoint Station was testing bombs that could destroy whole planets, Hana explained. But look at these green dots. The green dots showed places where the Destroyer had passed by without attacking. Peaceful Family Station has 10,000 people. The Destroyer flew right past it. Garden World Colony grows food for 5 planets. The Destroyer ignored it completely. Commander Yang Tae-hyun, who represented Earth's military, didn't like what he was hearing. "So you think this monster is choosing what to attack?" "Yes," Hana said. "I think it only attacks places that make weapons or do military research." A furry alien that looked like a big wolf stood up. "Even if that's true, it doesn't matter. It's still killing our people. We must destroy it before it destroys us." Most of the aliens in the room agreed with the wolf creature. They were too scared and angry to think clearly, but Hana had more to show them. "There's something else," she said. "The Destroyer is trying to talk to us." Everyone became quiet. A gas cloud alien turned bright red, which meant it was surprised. "Talk? That monster can talk?" "Communications. Officer Young Yuna discovered it yesterday," Hana explained. "The Destroyer is sending messages through space. They look like math problems, but they're really much more." Young Yuna came forward to help explain. She was nervous talking to so many important aliens, but she knew this was important. "The messages have numbers and patterns," she said. "At first we thought they were random, but Dr. Kim found out they're actually star maps." "Star maps?" asked a tree-like alien. "Yes," Hana said. "Maps that show where stars and planets were millions of years ago. The messages also have time markers, dates going back 12 million years." The room became very quiet. Even the crystal aliens stopped making their musical sounds. Dr. Baek Jihan, who had been helping Hana study the messages, spoke up. "We think the Destroyer has been alive for a very long time. These messages might be its memories, but the military leaders in the room didn't want to hear about messages or memories." A robot-like alien with red eyes spoke in a mechanical voice. "We must build bigger weapons. We must fight this creature before it kills us all." "Wait," Hana said. "What if fighting it is exactly the wrong thing to do?" "What do you mean?" asked Captain Park, who had come to support Hana. "Think about it," Hana said. "The Destroyer only attacks places that make weapons. What if we're making it angry by building more weapons to fight it?" This made some of the aliens very upset. The wolf creature growled loudly. "Are you saying we should do nothing? Just let it kill us?" "No," Hana said. "I'm saying maybe we should try to understand it first." While the aliens argued, Young Yuna was working on her computer. Suddenly she looked up with excitement. "Dr. Kim, the Destroyer is sending a new message right now." Everyone stopped talking and looked at Young Yuna's screen. The new message was different from the others. It had pictures along with the numbers, pictures of planets, stars, and strange symbols they had never seen before. "Can you understand what it means?" Captain Park asked. Young Yuna worked quickly, trying to decode the message. "It's showing us something that happened a long time ago," she said. "I see pictures of planets, and something destroying them." "The destroyer is showing us planets it destroyed before?" the robot alien asked. "Maybe," young Yuna said. "But there's more. The message shows 12 different times when this happened. 12 different E-named extinctions." The word extinction made everyone afraid. Extinction meant that entire species of aliens had been completely wiped out, every single one of them killed until none were left. 12 extinctions, Hana repeated quietly. 12 times in history when the destroyer woke up and cleaned the galaxy. The tree alien's leaves began to shake with fear. "You mean this has happened before? Other civilizations like ours have faced this creature?" "Yes," Hana said, "and according to these messages they all lost." The room filled with scared sounds, growls, musical notes, color changes, and mechanical beeping. Everyone was thinking the same thing. If 12 advanced civilizations couldn't stop the destroyer, how could they? But Hana was thinking something different. She was wondering why the destroyer was showing them this history. Was it trying to warn them, or was it trying to teach them something important before it was too late? Dr. Kim Hana had not slept for 3 days. Her eyes were red and tired, but she could not stop working. The computer screens around her showed thousands of numbers and symbols from the destroyer's messages. Her helper, Dr. Baek Jihan, brought her coffee and sat down next to her. "Hana, you need to rest," Jihan said with worry in his voice. "I can't stop now," Hana said, pointing at the screen. "Look at this pattern here. These numbers keep repeating every few thousand years." Jihan looked at the screen. He was good with math, but these patterns were very hard to understand. "What do you think it means?" "I think it's a timeline," Hana said. "A record of every time the destroyer woke up." Communications officer Oh Min-seok walked into their workroom. He looked excited, but also scared. "Dr. Kim, I did what you asked. I tried to talk directly to the destroyer." Hana turned around quickly. "And? Did it answer?" "Yes," Min-seok said. "But the answer is strange. It doesn't talk with words like we do. It talks with feelings and pictures that appear in your mind." "What kind of pictures?" Jihan asked. Min-seok sat down and closed his eyes, trying to remember. "I saw stars being born and dying. I saw planets full of life becoming empty and cold. And I felt sadness. Very deep sadness." Hana felt her heart beating faster. "The destroyer is sad?" "More than sad," Min-seok said. "It feels lonely and tired, like it has been carrying something heavy for a very long time." Engineer Kang Jisoo came running into the room. "Dr. Kim, I figured out what those old star maps mean." Everyone looked at her. Jisoo was breathing hard, from running, but her eyes were bright with discovery. "The star maps show 12 different locations in the galaxy," she said. "Each location had a big civilization, millions of planets with smart creatures living on them." "Had?" Hana asked. "Yes, had. They're all gone now, completely empty. No life anywhere," Jisoo said. "I checked our historical records. These civilizations all disappeared at different times, but they all reached the same level of technology before they vanished." "What level?" Jihan asked. "The same level we're at right now," Jisoo said quietly. The room became very quiet. Everyone understood what this meant. The destroyer had killed 12 entire civilizations when they became as advanced as humans, and their alien friends were today. "But why?" Hana whispered. The answer came from an unexpected place. Pilot Han Seojin, who had been practicing mental communication with the destroyer, suddenly spoke from the doorway. "Because they became dangerous," he said. His voice sounded different, older, and sadder than usual. "Seojin, are you okay?" Hana asked. "The destroyer is sharing its memories with me," Seojin said slowly. I can see what it saw millions of years ago. Seojin sat down and began to tell them what he was seeing in his mind. Long ago, there was a race of beings who lived throughout the galaxy. They were very wise and peaceful. They watched over all life, making sure different species could grow and learn safely. What happened to them? Minsok asked. They saw something terrible coming, Seojun continued. Some civilizations were becoming too powerful. They were building weapons that could destroy not just planets but entire star systems. Weapons that could break the rules of space and time itself. Hana felt cold. She knew that humans had been working on exactly those kinds of weapons. The wise beings had to make a choice, Seojin said. Let the dangerous civilizations destroy everything or stop them. They chose to stop them, but the only way to do it was to give up their own lives. How? Jihan asked. They combined their minds and bodies into one creature, the Destroyer. They became a guardian that would wake up whenever a civilization became too dangerous. They sacrificed their individual lives to protect all life in the galaxy. Dr. Kim Hana felt tears in her eyes. So the Destroyer isn't evil. It's trying to protect everyone. Yes, Seojin said, but every time it has to destroy a civilization, it becomes weaker. The original beings put all their life energy into creating it, and that energy is running out. Medicum Jiho had been quietly scanning the Destroyer with medical equipment. Now she spoke up with bad news. Dr. Kim, my scans show that the Destroyer is dying. Its life signs are getting weaker every day. Dying? Hana asked. Yes. And according to my readings, this might be the last time it can wake up. After this, it won't have enough energy left to protect the galaxy anymore. Everyone in the room understood the terrible situation they were in. The Destroyer had woken up because humans and other species were building weapons that could destroy everything. It was dying from protecting the galaxy for millions of years. And if it died, there would be nothing to stop the next dangerous civilization from destroying all life. There has to be another way, Hana said. The Destroyer showed us the history for a reason. Maybe it's hoping we can be different from the other 12 civilizations. Different how? Jisoo asked. Hana looked at all her friends, humans and aliens, working together, sharing knowledge, caring about each other. Maybe we can learn to protect the galaxy ourselves, without needing the Destroyer to do it for us. But outside their ship, the combined military forces of 50 species were gathering, preparing to fight the Destroyer. They didn't know the truth and they might not listen even if they did. Time was running out for everyone. Dr. Kim Hana stood in front of the big meeting room again, but this time things were different. She had papers full of proof about the Destroyer's true purpose. Her hands were shaking as she looked at all the angry alien faces staring back at her. You want us to believe that monster is trying to help us? Shouted the wolf-like alien. His fur was standing up, showing how angry he was. It's not a monster, Hana said as calmly as she could. It's a guardian that has been protecting life in the galaxy for millions of years. The crystal aliens made loud ringing sounds that hurt everyone's ears. It killed our people. How can you defend it? Captain Park Ji-won stood up to support Hana. Please listen to Dr. Kim's evidence before you decide. But most of the aliens didn't want to listen. They were too scared and angry. The robot alien with red eyes spoke in its mechanical voice. We have built the biggest fleet in galaxy history. Over 10,000 warships from 50 different worlds. We will destroy this creature in 3 days. What if destroying it makes things worse? Hana asked. What if there are other dangerous civilizations out there, and we need the Destroyer to protect us from them? We can protect ourselves, growled the wolf alien. Dr. Shin Na-young, who was very good at talking to different species, tried to help. What Dr. Kim is saying is that maybe we should think about why the Destroyer chose to wake up now. What if we can solve this problem without fighting? But the military leaders had already made up their minds. Commander Yang Tae-hyun looked uncomfortable, but he had his orders. Earth's government has decided. We will join the attack. Hana felt very sad. After the meeting, she went back to her ship with her friends. They all felt hopeless. They won't listen, said Jung-yuna. They're too afraid. I don't blame them. said pilot Han Seojun. If I didn't have the destroyer's memories in my head, I would be scared too. That night, Captain Park called a secret meeting with just the humans from their ship. I've been thinking about what Dr. Kim said, she told them. What if we could prove that humans are different from the other 12 civilizations? How? Asked Engineer Kang Jisoo. By showing the destroyer that we can choose wisdom over weapons, Captain Park said. Meanwhile, Seojun was having more conversations with the destroyer. The ancient guardian was sharing more of its memories with him. In his mind, Seojun could see the 12 civilizations that had been destroyed before. They were all the same, Seojun told the others. When the destroyer tried to warn them, they just built bigger weapons. They never tried to understand or change. What about us? Asked Medic Im Jiho. Are we the same? The answer came through Seojun from the destroyer itself. Your species shows something different, the guardian's voice said through him. You work together with other species. You share knowledge instead of hoarding it. You show kindness to the weak. Dr. Kim Hana felt hope growing in her heart. It's giving us a chance, isn't it? Yes, Seojun said. The destroyer doesn't want to eliminate humans. It wants to see if we can grow beyond the need for dangerous weapons. But there was bad news too. Communications Officer Oh Min-seok had been monitoring the destroyer's condition. Its energy levels are dropping fast, he reported. Dr. Im's medical scans were right. This might be its last awakening. What happens if it dies? Asked Young Yuna. Then, there will be no guardian left to stop the next dangerous civilization, Hana said. And eventually someone will build weapons that destroy everything. The next day brought a message from the destroyer that changed everything. Through Seojun, it spoke directly to the human crew. We offer your species a choice, it said. Abandon your most dangerous research. Help guide other species away from the path of destruction. Show the galaxy that wisdom can triumph over the desire for power. And if we can't do that, Captain Park asked, then you will join the silence of the 12 civilizations that came before you. The choice was clear, but it wasn't just up to them. All of humanity, and all the other species, would have to decide together. Dr. Shin Na-young had an idea. What if we could show the galaxy what cooperation looks like? What if we could prove that species can work together without needing weapons? The attack fleet launches tomorrow, Commander Yang reminded them. We don't have much time. That night Hana couldn't sleep. She went to the observation deck and looked out at the stars. So many worlds, so many different forms of life. All of it could be destroyed if they made the wrong choice. Pilot Han Seojun joined her. The destroyer is very old and very tired, he said. It has been alone for millions of years, carrying the responsibility of protecting everything. It wants to rest. But it can't rest if there's no one to take its place, Hana said. That's why it's hoping we can be different, Seojun said. It's hoping we can become the guardians that choose to protect through wisdom instead of force. Outside in space, the massive attack fleet was gathering, ships from 50 different worlds, all preparing to destroy the creature that had been protecting them for millions of years. But aboard Unity's Dawn, a small group of humans and friendly aliens were preparing for something else entirely. They were preparing to show the galaxy what it meant to choose love over fear, cooperation over conflict, and wisdom over weapons. The next day would decide the fate of all life in the galaxy. The morning of the great battle, space was filled with 10,000 warships. They came from 50 different worlds, all pointing their weapons at the destroyer. The creature floated silently in the darkness, its bioluminescent patterns dim and weak. Dr. Kim Hana stood on the bridge of Unity's Dawn with her small team. They had a plan, but it was very dangerous and might not work. Are you sure about this? Captain Park Ji-won asked her. No, Hana said honestly, but it's the only chance we have. Engineer Lee Seung-hoon was working quickly at his control panel. I've removed all weapons from our ship, he reported. We're completely defenseless now. Communications Officer Yu Hanul opened channels to broadcast their message across the entire galaxy. Everyone will see what we do, she said. Hana took a deep breath. Begin the demonstration. What happened next had never been seen before in galactic history. Unity's dawn began dismantling its own defensive systems piece by piece. The crew worked together, humans and aliens side by side, taking apart everything that could be used as a weapon. But they didn't stop there. They began sharing their most secret technology with everyone watching. Medical advances that could save millions of lives. Energy systems that could power entire planets without pollution. Knowledge that most species kept hidden from their enemies. What are they doing? Asked the wolf alien commander watching from his warship. They're making themselves completely helpless, said his tactical officer. On Unity's dawn, Dr. Shin Nayoung was working with alien crew members to help struggling colonies they had never met before. They sent food to hungry worlds, medicine to sick populations, and tools to planets that needed help building homes. We're showing the galaxy what cooperation looks like, Nayoung explained to the watching fleets. The destroyer had been silent during all of this, but suddenly its patterns began to glow brighter. Through pilot Han Seojun, its ancient voice spoke to everyone. For 12 million years we have waited to see this, the Guardian said. A species that chooses to protect others instead of protecting only themselves. Navigator Yu Hanul felt tears on her face as the destroyer's emotions flowed through the communication link. It's happy, she whispered. For the first time in millions of years it feels hope. But the attack fleet wasn't stopping. The military commanders had their orders, and they were going to follow them. All weapons, prepare to fire, came the command across the fleet's communication system. The destroyer could have defended itself. It could have destroyed the entire fleet in seconds, but instead it made a different choice. We will not fight you, the Guardian said through Seojun. We have seen what this species can become. That is enough. Dr. Kim Hana watched in amazement as the destroyer began to glow with the brightest light anyone had ever seen. What's it doing? She asked. It's using all of its remaining life energy, Seojun said, his voice filled with wonder and sadness. The light from the destroyer spread across the galaxy faster than anything should be able to move. It touched every planet, every space station, every research facility where dangerous weapons were being built. Medic Mjiho's scanners went crazy. I'm reading massive energy changes everywhere, she reported. Every reality-warping weapon, every planet-killing device, every time-breaking machine, they're all shutting down permanently. It's making them impossible to rebuild, added engineer Kang Ji-soo, studying the readings. The destroyer is changing the fundamental laws of physics around those weapons. They can never work again. But the cost was terrible. As the light faded, the destroyer began to fade too. Its massive form was becoming transparent like a ghost. No, Hana whispered. Don't die. We need you. Through Seojun, the destroyer's voice came one last time, but now it was weak and tired. You do not need us anymore. You have learned to be guardians yourselves. But what if other dangerous civilizations arise? Captain Park asked. Then you will stop them, not through force, but through the wisdom you have shown today. The Guardian replied. We transfer to you the knowledge of millions of years. Use it to guide, not to destroy. Suddenly, Hana felt her mind filling with incredible knowledge. Not weapons or ways to hurt others, but wisdom about life, about how to help civilizations grow safely, about how to protect without destroying. All around the galaxy, other humans and friendly aliens felt the same thing happening to them. The destroyer was giving them the tools they needed to become the new guardians. Teach others what you have learned, the fading voice said. Show them that strength comes not from the power to destroy, but from the wisdom to preserve and protect. The attack fleet stopped firing. The weapons went silent. Thousands of warships floated in space, their crews watching as the ancient guardian gave its final gift to the galaxy. As the destroyer faded away completely, its last words echoed in everyone's minds. We can rest now, the watch passes to you. Months later, Dr. Kim Hana stood in a new kind of meeting room. Instead of angry voices and threats, There were voices of cooperation and hope. The Galactic Preservation Alliance was working to heal old wounds and prevent new wars. Humans led, by example, showing other species that they could solve problems without violence. The galaxy was learning to see strength in kindness, power in protection, and true victory in choosing to save life instead of taking it. The creature that everyone had called a monster was now remembered as the greatest hero in galactic history. The guardian who chose to die so that all life could continue to grow and flourish.